Who is Kokona Haruka? Why has she been featured in so many videos? Will Kokona be removed from the game in the future? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. For you to understand why she exists in the first place, I need to explain where Yandere Simulator's character models came from. Before I started working on Yandere Simulator, I was developing several other game prototypes. Each prototype had the same problem. Eventually, I couldn't continue developing the game because I didn't have the necessary character models or animations to make the game I envisioned. I decided to look through the Unity Asset Store to find a character model that came with every animation I'd need to make an entire game. I came across this model, a very affordably priced anime schoolgirl. This made me ask myself, what kind of game could I make using a schoolgirl as the main character? My friend suggested a delinquent simulator, but I thought that idea sounded too tame. I tried to envision the most extreme version of that idea, and imagined a game about a serial-killing schoolgirl. That's what inspired me to create Yandere Simulator. When I implemented the first few students, they were straight-up clones of Yandere-chan with different colored hair. I wanted them to look more unique, but I didn't have any hair models. The only hair model I had was Yandere-chan's ponytail. So I decided to improvise. I ripped off her ponytail and stuck it on different parts of her head to create 5 unique hairstyles: right side tail, left side tail, pigtails, tri-tails, and twin tails. But there was one student remaining who didn't have a unique hairstyle. I was running out of creative ways to stick Yandere-chan's ponytail into a girl's head, so I decided to try something different with the one remaining girl who still needed a unique hairstyle. The first thing that came to mind was a twin drill hairstyle, so that's the type of hairstyle that I gave her. One of my biggest weaknesses is coming up with names for my characters. Because I had absolutely no idea what to name these girls, I simply named them after characters from K-On! The girl with purple drills was named Nodomana, after Nodoka Manabe. Eventually, I decided that it was weird to name everybody after a K-On! Character, so I turned to a list of popular Japanese girl names. Because Yui is the most popular name, and Rio is the second most popular name, the first girl was named Yui Rio, and so on. The 6th girl got the 11th and 12th most popular female names in Japan: Kokona Haruka. The next feature that I wanted to test out was the ability to customize physical features. So, I gave every girl a different bust size. The first girl, Yui, got the smallest size, and the last girl, Kokona, got the biggest size. Saki and Kokona had the most unique hairstyles, and the largest bust sizes, out of all the game's characters, so they stood out more than anyone else. When I needed to choose 2 characters to demonstrate the game's first elaborate feature, faking a girl's suicide, I decided to use Saki and Kokona because I knew that their unique appearances would make it easy for people to locate them and remember them. Demonstrating the suicide feature required me to give Kokona a personal problem that could be linked to her suicide. Her problem was implied to be domestic abuse, making her a tragic character. At the time, no other girl had personal problems, or voiced lines, or any sort of personality whatsoever, so Kokona instantly became the game's most unique and noteworthy character. Because Kokona was the only interesting and memorable character in the game at that point in time, I continued using her as a test subject for the game's elimination methods. And I gave her a routine that would allow the player to murder her in various ways, to test out all of the game's elimination methods, and made her the star of several scripted events that presented the player with deadly opportunities. Eventually, it became a tradition to always use Kokona to demonstrate the game's latest features. Even though she was featured in most of my videos, I didn't think of her as a main character who had a role in the game's story. I always thought of her as a guinea pig for testing new features. I had no intention of allowing her to remain so noteworthy in the final game. I always intended to turn Kokona into a normal background character once the game's first official rival had been implemented.